What's going on? What's going on, y'all?
What's up, everybody?
It is Thursday, so you know what that means.
Brother Empowerment Day.
Yeah, so you see we already started everything off a little bit different. Last week we showed you an intro video. This week we got a little bit of sound to that thing.
Yeah, man.
So we're going to continue to do a lot of positive things and make a lot of changes because we do want to bring you guys professional content. We want to bring you guys things that you can use, things that will help motivate and inspire in a whole different way. Yeah. And we believe like, if we're going to say that we're professional, we got to keep bringing you professional stuff. So if this is your first time watching, Brother Empowerment is a show to help brothers to break through without breaking. So this is not a bashing show, but this is an encouraging show to talk about things from a male perspective. Mm-hmm. So even if you're not a male that is watching, you can benefit from it because it gives you a fresh lens, a fresh opportunity, and we definitely encourage you to engage in the conversations. Yeah. So before we get into everything, bro, how was your week?
Yeah, my week has been pretty interesting, man. Just more and more conversations, but also, man, just a clearing off of a bunch of things, man. I
see y'all in theme music.
Oh, yeah. What's up, Joy? But yeah, I had to get some things straight, man, and clear some things off of my emotional plate, and really just recenter myself, man. So it's been a really interesting week, kind of hectic emotionally, but Brother Empowerment always brings me back to a center, even if I'm all over the place. So it's been all over the place, bro, but interesting. So how about you?
I know it seemed like we always are saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Mine has been the same way. For those who don't know now, about 3 weeks ago, I was informed that I was being laid off. And so I did something that I didn't do or have never done before, put out a video resume. And so that video resume, I put it out on a Friday. Mm-hmm. It actually generated a lot of responses. So I thank everybody who shared it. So I don't want people to be discouraged in that regard because it did open up a door for me to receive several interviews. Mm-hmm. Some I'm still waiting to hear back from. Several leads, people saying, hey, apply for this job, apply for this job. Matter of fact, Deshaun reached out to me today. I was like, how you got my number? Oh, whatever. But Deshaun reached out to me today and sent me a wonderful lead. So people are working. Those people are helping me. It's like wonderful. And I'm making it to the second and third round interviews, but no definites yet. Got a few rejections. So that kind of messed me up because it started off my Monday with rejections. But you have to internalize like, hey, this is not a reflection of me. This is a reflection of the time.
Right.
So constantly having that war of, it's like, it's so funny. You in between wanting to just give up, but at the same time, fight twice as hard.
Yep.
So that's kind of have been me. I've been living kind of like in this oxymoronic, paradox. So I feel like that's where I have been this entire week, even down to today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, guys, so thank you anybody who's been supporting because the one on Facebook is, I want to say it's over 5,000 views. Yeah, so thank you guys for sharing it. I got a lot of great friends out of it. I've been in coaching sessions. So I've been taking advantage of coaching sessions. People have been looking at my resume, interview skills. It's just been a lot of great things happening. So I do thank you guys for that. And one of the things that I definitely wanted to clear up is we wanted to make people aware that Love is a Parable is doing well operationally, but Love is a Parable is not at a place yet where it can take care of all of our families. So we're in a process of doing that, and we're making it intentional that we keep Love is a Parable separate from that. So that's another thing because people are like, well, Love is a Parable is doing all these great things. Yeah, because Love is a Parable is a business that is taking care of itself, and that's because of you great guys.
Definitely.
So I definitely want to thank everybody that is supporting. So continue to give your donations towards Love is a Parable. That's not going in my pocket. That's going in Love is a Parable. So we can continue to bring you great content. One of the things that we released this week is that we released a new initiative, education initiative that we're doing. And that's the voter education. So you will be seeing a lot of things about voter education to make sure that you are aware and fully prepared so that you can vote with confidence November 3rd, 2020. So we're definitely going to keep giving you that information, and we're going to continue to educate and do the things that we are supposed to do, and that's remove those blinders so that you can be the best that you can be and really experience love in its purest state. Okay?
Absolutely.
We got my little brother on, Mike.
What's up, Mike, man?
Michelle is on.
Michelle.
Hey, Miss Joey.
Joey, what's up?
Yes, we got theme music. We trying to we taking it to another level. We got Superman on. Yep. We got our brother Sean on. What's up, going Sean, on? Bro? It's coming. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It is. I do appreciate the positive vibes that are happening.
Yeah.
Who do we have?
Let's see. We got
y'all comment so we can see y'all.
We got Adrian Ragland's on. What's up, Adrian?
Hey, Adrian.
Shoot, we already said Shell. We got let's see, we already said Sean. We got Shavin Green is on. That's that is Nichelle's cousin.
Hey, Nichelle's cousin.
Well, his I'm sorry, that's his not her cousin, that's her sister-in-law. Excuse me. She got so many family members, I gotta keep track.
Hey, sister-in-law slash cousin.
Sorry about that.
Sister.
Sorry. Let's see. We got my brother AJ is on. What's up, AJ, man?
Hey, AJ. Your brother AJ.
My younger brother AJ. Yep.
What's going on, AJ?
Just turned 21 on the 4th. You know
wow.
I mean? Yeah.
Oh, we grown now.
Yeah. So, yeah, my bad, Shell, sister-in-law. I told you, you got like 89 family members. I gotta keep track.
Don't play her because you forgot. Shh. You are better than this.
We got Kevin Bethay's up, or he's on. What's up, Kevin?
Hey, what's going on, sir?
So I think that's everybody. Tara is on. What's up, sis? So yeah, man. She just got on, so that's what's up. So
yep, he already said something up here.
Mm-hmm.
We got it. So today is going to be interesting. Oh, and then last week was actually, thank you guys for tuning in last week. That actually was kind of interesting because y'all didn't even know my setup. We went out of town to try to celebrate our 12-year anniversary. But at the same time, my wife lost her grandfather. I lost my great aunt. And then we also lost somebody who was, we were working with the Love is a Parable family. We laid to rest, Al Brewington was laid to rest today. And he was one of the guys that we were working for to get a book out, get his website out, get his story out, because he had a unique form of cancer, and he was winning for 16 years at least. And he finally decided to take his rest and transition.
Yeah. So
that was actually pretty hard. I know for me, because I also went to school with him and his younger brother. So so the way where we were, I can't even explain where I was in my sister-in-law's apartment, but we did bring it to you. But and the interesting thing is I received a lot of comments about how last week really helped. And so it helped us too. It helped me get through. We were dealing with a transition, also a celebratory time at the same time. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah. So yeah, Maurice is on.
Yep.
My mom is on. Hey, mom. Ambrosia is on. Ambrosia is on.
Mama Jackie.
Got Jeremy is on. What's up, Jeremy?
What's going on, sir? So we got a lot of topics.
A lot.
And I'm starting to realize that you talk a lot because we didn't get through any of our topics last week. We got like 4 of them. Yeah, you be going, bro.
I am the one who said we got a backlog, so we shouldn't even request any new ones. But I keep getting overruled, so I keep requesting them.
You something nasty. I don't know why you acting like that today. I don't know.
I'm getting blamed for talking.
Did you have your Ovaltine?
My what?
Ovaltine?
Man. No, not today.
So let's just jump into it. The Biden and Harris, whatever is going on. Going to give the disclaimer.
So I'm gonna let y'all know here on Brother Empowerment and Love is a Parable overall. We don't talk about politics like that or really at all. So if you're coming in here looking for us to talk specifically about politics or about certain politicians, that's just not us. Not what we're gonna do. We're not a political organization. We leave that to the other folks. So what I will say about the Biden-Harris stuff is that they're the candidates that are opposing or that are in opposition to the administration that we have now. If you either like them or you don't, the voting system is something that is in place, and that it's an old system that has its its flaws, and that's really all I'll say. You know, I'm not going to get too deeply into it because that's not what we do here.
Yep, and just to add clarity on it, because we are a 501c3 organization, we can't choose sides or anything like that. We can have healthy conversations about being educated about it, which is the only thing that I'm going to talk about. And so we can just go on and nip it in the bud. It is turning into a bit of a race war, but guess what? It has always been a race war. I do realize that there are several people who don't understand the difference between race and ethnicity. And that's people you would think that would know, like people who are of color would know the difference between race and ethnicity. And once again, we've been proven wrong. But guess what? The great opportunity is you can take advantage of our implicit bias workshop where we actually go over things like the difference between ethnicity, race, and nationality, because surprisingly, a lot of people don't know. And that's a great opportunity to be in the know about that. Additionally, for some strange reason, people confuse that believe that we're in a two-party system, and we're not in a two-party system. There are several other presidential candidates. There are actually 4 that are out now. I actually did share it on a page, and I will share it with you. The thing is, most of the people did not vote last year. 4 years ago, because a lot of people are under the impression that we have a two-party system, being the most dominant and most familiar, which is Republican, Democrat. But there actually are other. There's the Green Party, and there's also libertarian parties that are actually in the presidential bid. The one thing that I tell people that they don't know of, a lot of people feel like they have only 2 parties to choose from, so a lot of people don't vote. But if the people who didn't vote would have voted for one of those other parties, we could have had a different presidential party. But we have to debunk the narrative that we have to choose between those two, because that's not really true. Votes are votes, and who the majority votes for in the electoral college, of course, in that way, whoever people vote for, that will still be the same thing. It doesn't have to be a party. It's not like these parties have special weight that other parties don't have. The voters can really determine that, and that's being educated and empowered. And you might be surprised. It might be things out there or people that you better align yourselves with. So let's not believe the hype. Let's become very informed about what's out there, and then make a decision that you as an individual feel more comfortable about. But from an educational standpoint, from a voter educational standpoint, there are other presidential candidates out there, and I would encourage anyone to do their due diligence on who they want to exercise their vote for. Okay?
Exactly. And that's all we're going to say about that.
So I stay on the chains. Over to you.
What's up, Sherry?
Hey, Sherry.
Hey, what's up, Sid?
Hey, what's going on? So that was the one about, the outrage over the WAP.
Yeah, so
See,
if anybody doesn't know, the WAP is a song that featured, it's a collaborative effort between Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, and the acronym stands for Wet Arse Pum Pum. That's what it stands for. So
vagina.
Yeah, wet ass.
The explicit
vagina.
term for vagina.
Yeah.
How you gonna cuss now?
Sorry. Sorry.
Yes.
So there's a lot of outrage over that for various reasons. There is, outrage over the kind of message it sends out, or the kind of effect it has on the youth, and the effect it has on how people look at women and this and that. And I'm just going to say, one of the things I'm going to say is this. One, as I've said before, I don't do, well, thanks, Shell. Thanks. I was trying to keep it PG, but okay, I failed. Okay, thanks. I
agree.
So one of the things that I will say, because I haven't said anything about it on my personal page, is that sexually explicit music has been a part of rap, R&B, pretty much almost every form of music that there is. So we've had sexually explicit lyrics since forever. So for people to act like this is something new and that it just has this horrible effect on everybody, it's really intellectually lazy. And it just really is. And to say that, it paints women in a certain light and that it makes them, women look bad, or that's the reason why women are treated a certain way, that's also intellectually lazy, and it's really, really misogynistic. That is really, really trash. Because the crazy part is that, one, we have no idea what's going on in Megan's personal life right now. And then two, Cardi's married. So to say that that's why women are treated certain, that's looked at a certain way, it's really dumb, because not only do you not know what's going on with people in their personal lives, again, Cardi is married. So she could very well be talking about the stuff that she does with her husband in the privacy of their home, in their bedroom. So you don't know. You're just really assuming. So what I want to say is that all the people that have a super negative, and also before I do that, I'll say this: if you don't like it, you don't have to listen to it. No one is making you listen to it. You can simply turn, block, turn off, log out, whatever. You don't have to view it. You don't have to listen to it. And again, and before I go to my brother Jay, I'll say that we've had these kind of lyrics since the beginning of time, and they haven't always been subtle and covert. We've had nasty in music that was overtly nasty since music was invented. That's all I'll say.
I told you.
What?
Y'all saw him now. He talked for like a whole 4 minutes. I'm just saying. I don't know what to say after that. I'm gonna go to the comments. Why? It's just like election party. Vote for who you want and leave the rest alone. Rock with who's for you and keep it moving.
Yeah.
Yes, sexually explicit music has been around forever.
Yeah, it has.
Forever.
Wow, Shell, really?
Long-winded. I'm glad she's saying it.
Whatever.
Cardi said y'all don't support the women rapping about other things either, so she's going with her base.
And there's nothing wrong with going with your base, because there's something for everybody. Oh, and for people who saying that the music is trash and bring back the old stuff, again, they was doing that same thing back then. And two, if you don't like the music, no one says you have to listen to it, but there are people who like it, because there wouldn't be millions of views and sales if there weren't. So just, if you don't like it, leave it be. But to talk about, say, the whole generation music or new music is trash, people said the same thing about y'all generation music when it came out. Your parents said the same thing, or people said the same thing about your music. So
yeah, because in the 60s, there was a song that was yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy. That was talking about fellatio.
Yep.
And people were singing it. So it keep going on. We ain't even gonna talk about 2 Live Crew.
Man,
their album was named banned in the USA for a reason. And Uncle Luke started a whole new genre of music because of what he did with 2 Live Crew. I want Cardi B to stop rapping off beat.
Wait, where?
I think I'll come back to that. I think that's how she talked though too. I don't know. I get what she's saying. What's the difference between men talking about how big, yep, and how they can put it down? Yep. There isn't a difference.
No difference.
I'm not going to lie.
The instrumental was nice, but no words.
Yes, it's been around for a while and keep away from young people, kids, but now everything is accessible. You know, I would say this though: 2 Live Crew and the mother of explicit is Millie Jackson. If y'all ain't know nothing about, the thing is, like, one thing that I can say about Georgia, anybody that's from Georgia, you tend to know about them, because for some strange reason, Georgia has a unique way of saying you're gonna know who the artists are from Georgia. So you're gonna know about Gladys Knight, you're gonna know about REM, you're gonna know about B-52s, yes. You're gonna know about Amy Grant, you're even gonna know about Hulk Hogan because he was born in Augusta, Georgia. You're gonna know about the people that were there, and Millie Jackson was from Thompson, Georgia. That's 30 minutes from Augusta, and her stuff, woo! And so what the problem is that you have to take ownership of what you allow yourself to be exposed to.
Yeah.
And we talk about this a lot of times, like, we are living in a time where everything is being introduced. Sex education is being introduced in the school with parents' consent or not, depending on how it's introduced. Race relations are being introduced as early as kindergarten in school. So we are living in different times, but the things are coming. But I do think it's a cheap shot to blame music for being music, because there's music for everybody.
Yeah.
The other thing that Meg did make a great point, even in one of her lyrics. She said the man made up his mind before he came to that place. And the truth of the matter is, a lot of us have already made up our mind how we see people, how we hear music. So it ain't no convincing a made up mind. So the truth of the matter is, how you feel about it is how you feel about it. And you have every right to feel how you feel, but you don't have every right to project your feelings onto somebody else.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't care one way or another.
Right.
As for me and my house, do my kids listen to it? No, but guess what? Do I know if they're going to be exposed to it at school or some type of way? I have no control over that. I really don't know. The only thing that I can do is use it as an opportunity to talk about it. And one of the things that we do, we actually already have talked about it because, like I said, I was molested as a kid. So we talk to our kids about good touch, bad touch anyway. And we talk to them about what sex is about and healthy ways to communicate and have relations. So this could actually be a great opportunity to have a whole conversation. But I do agree, let's not be hypocritical, because we got Millie Jackson, 2 Live Crew. We got Lil' Kim. We got
Yin Yang Twins.
Yin Yang Twins.
Okay.
You got them. Right. You got 50 Cent. You have there was another one that just I said, look him, Foxy Brown. You got Foxy Brown. You even have, what was the Million? What was the light-skinned girl that came out for a minute, then she disappeared, rap with Jay-Z?
Oh, yeah, that was Emil. Yeah.
And then you had Charlie Baltimore. Yep. I mean, the list can go on and on. Everybody have called a poo-poo something. Patra, Queen of the Pop. You know, you got so many other people that have done that. So it's not like it's anything new. So come on, we are really just reaching when we act like this is the most vulgar. No, trust me, somebody is always topping somebody else with vulgarity. So the truth of the matter is, we just move on. And if it's something that you are exposed to prematurely or unaware, there are always ways to have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
But I will say this, bashing is never healthy for anybody.
Nope.
Because you don't know what people's professions are or what people's past are. I know several women who were video vixens who made an honest living out of it. I know several women who were past strippers, even past prostitutes. So you don't know what somebody's past is. So when you're talking about people, you could be damaging somebody and you think that you're helping and you're really not doing a good job at it. You could really be hurting people. And how do we know? Because we have conversations with a lot of the people that you guys are damaging.
Yep.
That's what I'm saying about that.
And let's not talk about accessibility, saying that it's accessible to people.
I ain't saying that. Your mama said that.
So, and I'm gonna address that, and I will say that
get him, mom.
Anybody, mom, accessibility is a progression or a result of the progression of technology. And so, if we're gonna talk about explicit music videos and all that, I think if you want to talk about the accessibility of explicit videos, all that stuff, let's knock on the door of the adult film stuff first, because that's accessible with the simple Google click by anybody.
You leave people alone.
No,
and they vices.
We got,
and that music is really trash. It'd be like boosh. That's horrible.
So we're gonna talk about accessibility. Let's knock on that door first, and also you gotta knock on the door of the people who perfected Google searches. Knock on Google's door too, because they made everything accessible with the simple enter of a word and a click of a mouse. So let's be let's not do that.
Bill Gates, because with World Wide Web.
Okay, Bill Gates.
Look, my brother Trina, and he a DJ, so you know he know. At least these lyrics are up front. We just found out the electric slide was about.
Oh yeah, true.
Well, some of them are. The South is the home of the booty shake music and other things. Aquarius. Kennedy coming. Perfect Data and I discuss, laugh, discuss some more, influence the narrative. Right. The irony, men attacking women with no daughters is crazy. And they are women with all that awareness. They are speaking realistically. I know that's what,
Okay, Mom. Okay, we're just making sure. Okay.
I'll send you the link. Because I ain't arguing with your mama or my mama. Anybody else mama either. Because Sarah mama named Jackie too.
Oh,
not that mama Jackie either. I send them the link and say, have at it. So I definitely, we all on the same page.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say that. I'll leave that alone for now. Okay, how politicians really don't help our community. What people can do to mobilize rather than complain on social media.
Well, again, we don't really talk about politics, but I will say that when it comes to your local elected officials, we had Cassandra Flowers, I believe is her last name, who's on here. So is their answer to keep tech away from kids until they are a certain age? They have to have boundaries. Being able to do something doesn't mean we should. So I will say that.
I'm sorry.
I said she'll need no link. What I will say, Ma, is that when it comes to, I don't think keeping kids away from tech is the answer. I think that using the boundaries that technology has built within itself is a key, because with the advancement of technology has been the advancement of parental controls within that technology. The internet applications, social media, smart devices all have parental controls built in that you can use to restrict certain types of information from coming to the user, aka your child. So that is what I think is the more important thing. And that also requires, though, that the parent either learn about that or get with someone who can school them in that. So because you have a lot of parents out here who are not good with technology or not good with tech, or not good with, any kind of thing like setups or anything like that. So they're kind of at disadvantage, or at least they believe themselves to be at disadvantage when they're really not. It just takes a little bit of research and feeling around it just like the child would do. So yeah, that's what I would say, is that keeping tech away from kids, I don't think that's the right idea. Using the boundaries that are within the technology is the right idea.
Yeah, and I was just going to say education as a whole. Yeah. Education about what's out there, and I do agree. That's one of the things that I actually challenged my mom on that. She will be 70 next year, and one of the things that I tell her all the time is like, Mom, you are very intelligent. If you can use your smartphone, you can use a tablet.
Yep.
You can use a computer now, because a lot of the things, we don't have quote unquote apps like we used to when we first started out. A lot of things are what are called mobile optimized. So it just changes based off of the size of the screen of your phone.
Right.
I mean, the screen of the tool that you're using. So the true thing is become educated on technology and know your rights, because like for my kids, well, everybody who's on my plan, my mama included, I can shut everybody's phone down with just one button. And also the same thing with the kids' apps and things like that. But most importantly, the best way to exercise boundaries is also to exercise trust. The same thing that I told my mom, and the same thing I tell my kids, is that parenting is nothing more than a seed. You just got to trust that that seed is going to yield forth a harvest that you produce. But yes, once a person knows right from wrong, a person is going to choose from that moment whether it's right or wrong. No matter how many times you may try to discipline them in different ways, but a person is going to choose whatever they're going to choose. My mama tell you, I got a whooping every morning because she just knew that I was going to do something. And guess what? I didn't let her down either. But I'm also one who believes, like, if I'm going to get beat up, I'm going to earn it. And it's going to be original. Never get beat for the same thing twice. No double jeopardy and whoopings in our household. So I realized that. And so it's just about exercising boundaries, but exercising trust, which includes education as a whole. And that's what Aquarius was saying. You go ahead and teach them and monitor them and guide them. Sabrina said that the instrumental version is not bad. I mean, kids are going to hear about it either way. We just have those conversations and talk it through. Who teaching parents to set up? Okay, you answered my question.
But I can answer your question, Bob.
Yeah.
And
when you come down here, we're gonna give you a whole lesson. You're gonna sign up for Love is a Parable Tech class.
She has her own personal tech class every time she comes down here, baby. How do you work? How do you do that?
Yep. No, it ain't gonna be just ask. We're gonna put you through a whole training. You and Lois Lane, she can fly down here too. We'll get her. And we'll have her. What you about to say?
No, it's just so the question about the politicians, or that don't help or whatnot. So again, we don't talk about politics. We don't drill down that much, but I will say that in the political scheme of things, when it comes to your local elected officials, we had Cassandra Flowers on here probably about a month and a half ago, and
that's funny. Alex just like her husband. He just liked it. I was like, oh, that's timing. Perfect.
And she was saying how, what's up, OJ, man? That's my man OJ told me leave my mom alone. Man, we're not doing nothing, man. So
she gonna get in the class though.
Yes, she always gonna get in the class. So when it comes to the local elected officials, you can really? Okay, no. But she's good for that. But don't worry, we'll have a conversation later. But no, really though, your local officials, you can go to, like Sandra was saying, you can go to the town hall. You can go to the town hall meetings. You can go to their office. You know, you have direct access to them. They are here to serve you. So you have access to them. So instead of saying something on social media or saying, you know, what are we going to do? You can go directly to them. You can ask those important questions to them directly. You can call their office. You can speak to their staff. You can do all of that. And so as far as who does and doesn't help, that's a matter of perspective. And that's also a matter of, you know, that's a matter of perspective. So I won't get into that, but I will say that when it comes to local officials, you have access to them. So use that access.
Right. And that's the only thing I'm going to add to that too is we're living in a time because we're living in a Google era. Mm-hmm. Educate yourself. The way to stop complaining and really do something, educate yourself and stop following all of these little silly memes. Mm-hmm. Educate yourself. Go do some research. I mean, it's really just 2 buttons and a click. Sometimes it ain't even a click. It's just like a tap, bam, because the stuff will come up for you. Educate yourself. You owe that. The most dangerous thing that is happening right now is miseducation. Yeah. Miseducation has always happened, but now it's at even a more rapid pace. So to Mama Jackie's point, because of technology, it is easy to paint a narrative that is untrue, unvalidated, unmerited, unwarranted. So, and people will subscribe to those ideologies all the time. You must educate yourself, you must become familiar, and you must connect with those who are in it. And suspicion means nothing if you have absolutely no knowledge. Okay? So we definitely need to make sure that we become more and more aware.
Accessibility. The information is accessible to you.
Yeah, and Superman said the politicians serve you. If not, get them out of office, rally around those who have your values. And to Kerwin's point, Kerwin actually knows a lot about the law.
Yep.
So
it was right in my mouth.
So you better call Kerwin before you go out there and try to do a protest, because there have been people who have tried to do protests and marches and rallies and they went to jail. Talk to Kerwin so you don't go to jail. Partner with those type of initiatives. Learn a little bit more about it before subscribing to some type of action.
Exactly. So we're talking about resources. Not only is he Superman, but he's a super resource as well. So reach out to him if you have any questions. He's very personable.
Okay. And then it's kind of going into what we'll do is, because another one is kind of leaning right into that. The topic was why local races matter. They matter a lot, and it's very important to go ahead and get on top of that. And that's how education will help you. Mm-hmm. And then the one that we can go into is any tips to juggle learning and working full time, virtual learning. For those who have children that are virtually learning, to be honest, right now it is a trial by fire. We all are trying to figure it out. But what I have done and what my household has done is that we partnered with those who are already doing homeschooling and already have virtual learning. We partnered with why is it escaping me? Achieve Success Tutoring. Okay. I was about to say Overachiever, which is one of the initiatives. Yeah. But Achieve Success Tutoring, which is led by Aquarius Kane and Letitia Jordan. Mm-hmm. Aquarius Kane I went to school with. So immediately I reached out to her because she also offers tutoring. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a fee, but she has affordable plans. But subscribe to those who are also doing things. So Aquarius is one that I know and trust. I've known her for 30 plus years. And so I partner with her to help us prepare for our children. And she also is a support for our children to make sure that they are adjusting and adapting to that as well. Also, there's Martha Leone tutorial services as well, who also offers virtual assistance as well. So there's all of these individuals you can find if you go to loveisapparable.com and click on our partners. They actually have different services that will really help you. Yep. And that way you will be empowered, informed, and confident when making a decision. But I will tell you, we all are going to get through this together. Yep. And I actually think that this will actually be something that's really good for our children, because it's going to give them the opportunity to bond with their family. It's going to force adults, parents, and even grandparents who are taking care of children to become more engaged and more aware of that technology. So now we're going to be learning more, but it's going to be bringing a new level of bonding to the family unit that I do think that is very beneficial, but also a refresher for those who have been out of school for a while, who are looking for new challenges, who didn't think that they can learn it. Guess what? You can do this as wins for your children as well. This is also something very new for employers who, because I've been in executive leadership for so many years, I understand no one knows what is the right decision. This is a great opportunity for you to make suggestions, for you to partner with your employers and say, hey, I noticed that this may work for me and it may work for other employers as well. So this is an opportunity for us really to come together as a community. I'm not really looking at too many negatives because I see too many positives.
Yeah.
And one of the positives that I see more than anything is bringing back the family unit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, he said, reach out.
Yep, absolutely.
But people don't know how to determine fact from fiction. Well, I just told them about you. You offer tutoring services too. So they'll just come to you to learn the facts. Local races are imperative.
Absolutely.
That's coming from Lenora Lassiter of Lenora Poors, who actually is building the people, her whole family building. Her brother is out there marching. Joshua Dawson is doing big things in Fayetteville. I'm actually proud of everybody who's actually getting involved and doing a lot of great things.
Yeah.
Okay? Whoa, that was a mouthful there.
Oh, yeah, you talked a lot.
Shut up. Why this ongoing war between male versus female is healthy?
So, I don't know about a war, but I do know that there are some really damaging and some really damaging, silly, and false just narratives being pushed about this, about this ongoing war, quote unquote, between men and women. And I don't think there is a war at all. I think there are various levels of ineffective communication or miscommunication that are taking place, and that's what is perpetuating the idea that there's a war. But I don't think there's a war going on. Now, don't get me wrong, patriarchy, misogyny, rape culture, all those things are present in society. As far as a war between men and women, I don't think that is going on. I think that something like that is also perpetuated because of social media, who have you. Then there's people that will say that there's a war between men and women. People that that they are validated by saying stuff like that, or they benefit from pushing that narrative in some way. So I don't think there is a war between men and women. If there was one, a legit war between men and women, I don't think it would be healthy.
Yeah, I do think that. Unfortunately, I do think that it is. I think it is. It's a moral war between men and women, and this is something that has been going on for a while. In regards to, I think you probably are leaning more towards there shouldn't be one. Like the rationale behind it is actually all made up, and is actually pitting us against each other. Like going to the education component, men and women who process differently. That was from a test. A study that you can find on the internet. If you just Google it, it'll tell you the 4 results. It'll tell you exactly what the 4 results were. And it did show in that test that women did process differently when they were told that they were being studied. But when they were not told and they was just doing doing the examination, men and women process exactly the same. But even when they were formed and it supposedly showed that they process differently, they process complementary. So the fact that we are operating in contrast, that is a narrative that is not true. The way that we should operate in a complementary fashion where we complement one another, where we are the yin and the yang to one another. So it shouldn't be a disconnect. It should actually be something that comes together. So people who constantly say that, I always see that, well, men and women process differently. No, they don't. That's not really true. And that's not true to the experiment. That's not true to how things are done. So we want to definitely make sure that we're educating and empowering ourselves, because we could be unintentionally pushing a narrative that is unhealthy, and that's not very true. Okay?
Yeah.
Kevin said, I think it's a narrative push by white feminists.
I can't really do it.
It's an ego and a power struggle. I know where that comes from, but when we talk about the feminist movement, that's very unique, because when we talk about white feminists, talking about feminism actually is talking about white feminism, because when the feminist movement started, Blacks in America were still in slavery.
Right.
So yes, and that's why Black women, when they did something that is very similar to the feminist movement, they call it a womanist movement.
Right.
But that's a different story altogether. And the one thing that I will encourage is just research. But when we start talking about these narratives, we can't pinpoint it to one, because if you really start looking back, parts of these narratives are traces in several different cultures. And they actually have been going on for a while. And unfortunately, we're dealing in a time now where it's just coupled with a lot of stuff at once. You know what I mean? So I just want us to do our research and do our due diligence on stuff. Like Ms. Kane said, we really got to start separating the fact from the fiction and feelings. Fact, fiction, and feelings. Huge piece is woven into the systemic issues we're facing. Equality and equity is a division when not acknowledging the issues together.
Sarah brings up a good point, because equality and equity are two different things.
Yes, the heck we do things differently. My husband and I think, but that's your husband and you. Y'all are two individuals. That's, you and Shamika think differently and do things differently. So it's like, you can't. That's why I said I wanted to understand. I guess you meant the male thought process. But that's what I'm saying. It was a narrative put out there, and people have built this thing on a test that they didn't look at all of the results, the full results of the test. And they developed a whole thought process behind it. So you have a whole generation of people, especially those who came out around, I think it came out around like 92 or 95, something like that. Everybody who was raised in the 90s on up have this whole mindset. See, we're just totally different and blah, blah, blah. No, that's not true. And also, we know perception is reality, and we know that reality, it resembles what is real. So if you tell yourself something long enough, you'll believe it.
Yeah, we know what you meant, Aquarius.
And you a teacher, and I'm sitting here representing you, and you doing that. Okay, so then there was the question about, there's a meme that was out that says, basically it has the mother who says, I don't need a man. It has the daughter who says, I don't want a man. And then it has the man who says, I don't want to be a man.
Little male child. So, like Jay said about memes, there are memes out there for everything, and people make them up and they put them out there, and somebody identifies with it in some form or fashion for whatever reason, but it doesn't give them any actual education or factual merit. They're just memes that get put out there because someone thought about it or had a thought, and they either shared it, designed it, whatever. As far as the whole male not in the house, or I don't want a man, and that kind of thing, that is a layered conversation, and we could spend the whole show talking about that. So what I will say about the meme itself, since that was the topic, is, to me, it is a small part of it's a small part that has some falsehoods in it. That's a small part of a larger nuanced conversation that people cherry pick the small part of, inserted something into it, and put it out there to be its own bigger picture. I don't think that that's accurate, and I don't think that that is helpful to any conversation that's related to that. So I'll say that. I can't stand that meme. Just so if y'all don't know this, I can't stand that meme. I think it's stupid, and I think it's really it's a borderline misogynistic meme because it is pointing at women and putting a lot of fault on them, and that's not fair. Because one, it's a small part of a conversation, and that conversation already with that meme is already has some falsehoods injected into it. So no, I can't get with that. It's really, really painting women out to be something that they're not, and it's unfair. And it's also intellectually lazy. I love that term because it's true. It's laziness. That's right now.
Yeah, you lit a passion with that intellectual laziness today. But I will say that it's a lot of things that we don't talk about.
Mm-hmm.
The meme in the background, it does have the man walking out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. Here's the reality that we're dealing with right now. We have men who have done right by their families,
Mm-hmm.
men who have not done right by their families, men who wish they could have done better for their families, men who feel like they didn't even get a chance.
Mm-hmm.
So based on how you feel, that part of it may seem to be true to you, but it may not be true in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
But here's the thing that we do have to talk about that we don't talk about. There is a misandry response to a lot of these things too.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, misandrianism is basically women hating men, which is a response to misogynism, even though we recognize misandrianism is a response to misogynism. It doesn't mean that misandrianism doesn't exist, though. Mm-hmm. So there are some women who do not like men mm-hmm. for so many different reasons, and there are some women who do push an unhealthy narrative. Mm-hmm. I use my personal examples all the time. When I was taking my kids to church, the old ladies was like, "You don't know nothing about that baby." And they tried to take my baby out my hand. I have had, when I'm taking my kids to school, "Oh, mommy did your hair. Mommy dressed you real well." Guess what? It's saying the same thing. I have had conversations with people where they say men are just not maternal, which is correct, but they really mean paternal. But we do have nurturing paternal instincts. And so there are a lot of narratives out there that are not true, that are not healthy. And we think just because you give it to us with a baked apple pie, that makes it sweet. No, it's just a sweet, nasty insult. Mm-hmm. And we got to talk about that part too. There are some people who do not have a healthy relationship with men or a healthy outlook when it comes to men, and they push that healthy narrative as if it's healing, and it's not. Mm-hmm. Some of you are really hurt by men, and it's understandable, but you're not acknowledging the fact that you're hurt. You're acknowledging the strength it takes to deal with the pain, and it's coming out in a narrative that may not necessarily be true. Mm-hmm. So we have to deal with that. And now let's flip it. There are some men who may not like what I'm about to say, but guess what? You're not really doing your part, so you can't really say, "Oh, this is pushing the narrative." No, you ain't present. I can use my daddy as an example. The dude chose not to be, was a great father until he divorced my mother. And he divorced the entire family, and his only excuse for why he didn't come around was because I knew your mama would take good care of you. See, that wasn't because of the meme. That was because he gave a stupid response, not a good one, not a healthy one. That was just horrible. So guess what? It happens. There are people out there that are not doing a good job. And listen, you might think you are a great person. You might be the greatest uncle because it never fails. Everybody talks about how the best stepdad is a horrible daddy. Or the best uncle, because my dad was a great uncle. They had go-karts and stuff like that. And my mama could barely pay bills. So it's people out there. It's some men who are not doing a great job. And you are making our job twice as hard. And I'm going to tell you this. Paying child support and seeing your kids on weekends and having joint custody is different than being a custodial parent. Being a custodial parent, there's a snot or there's a fever that happens at 3 a.m. that they can't call you to tell you to come over, and it's going to take you 30 minutes to an hour to come over. There are certain things that happen in a custodial environment that you can't explain, you can only experience. Yep. So we got to have those conversations. Yeah. We gotta talk about it. And there are some people who are not doing good jobs. And guess what? Brothers, that's what we get around our brothers and say, I know you mean well, but you're not doing well. And that's when our sisters get around our sisters and be like, sister, I know you hurt, but you can't be lashing out on everybody because this is not true. Yep. We really just have to get to a point where we really are able to have those conversations. And unfortunately, memes like this are forcing us to deal with the reality, but it's covering a landscape of situations. And it's not a one-size-fit-all type thing.
Nope. Got to have the entire conversation, 360, not the 90, not the 180, the whole thing.
Yep. And only talk about you. And honesty is a thing, because guess what? You can admit. I have a friend who always said if her and her husband get a divorce, she said, I'm gonna leave the kids with my husband because I feel like he's a better parent than I am. She will tell you that till she blew in the face. They've been married for several years. It's not like they having any issues in their marriage, but she always said, no, I just feel like he's a better one. He knows what's going on with them. He's more in tune. I'd be like, give me the cliff notes. Help me out. Honesty will help a lot. And then sometimes you're just tired. Yeah. Sometimes you're just tired. You're like, can somebody come get these kids? Can one person come get these kids? Yeah. Whew. So, bro. Oh, we got time for one more because we started late. Yeah. Oh, that's not one. Let's see. How being a good parent doesn't automatically make you a good partner.
Well, sir, you can take that one first. Well, because I'm not a parent, so.
I disagree. You are a parent. You are. Okay. You're part of the village.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
You're part of the village. You instill things. Like when the kids mess up, you sit down and talk to them too. That's parenting.
I got you.
And I think that's the thing, that a lot of people are parents before they become physical parents. And there is a lot that you guys give, and there's a lot of seeds that you guys plant that a lot of times they go unacknowledged. But you're a parent. You are. I wish they would say that so you could just fuss at them. Fuss at one of them. But yes, you can be a great parent and a horrible partner, because you do have some people who believe, like, depending on, let me see what this got to say first. We got to stop shaking our heads at our brothers and start talking to them, even calling that man out on his BS when he thinks it's best to completely walk away from his family. We got to stop the cycle. I agree.
Hey, that's what we're doing, man. We don't shake our head at our brothers, or if we do while we're talking with them.
Yep. Don't worry, Sean. When you have a conversation offline, you'll see how brutally honest I am. I don't hold back nothing, and we do that, and we hold each other. Sometimes I say something that's so honest, it hurt my feelings. I'm like, ooh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let me start over.
Yeah, and you can ask any brother who talks to either one of us. We don't pull any punches. That's really because we care. And so, and we cannot preach, or not preach, but we cannot.
Come on.
We cannot.
Bring forth the word.
We can't preach honesty, transparency, and accountability.
We can't preach honesty
and not stand on that. So
stand on the word.
Stand on the principles. Stand on the principles.
That you're gonna preach it, y'all.
So
let me get my tie.
So really, that's if you talk to either one of us, that's what you're gonna get, because that's what we're all about. We stand on that, and that's what we expect from brothers that we talk to. You know, so that is really what you're gonna get. So you're right, Sean, and that's what we do here.
Curl, don't be telling our business. They gotta be surprised like everybody else. Ask ladies too. I be
whatever, Shell.
I was a parent for a long time to my nieces, nephews, and godkids prior to having my own child.
I feel it. I got a nephew myself now, so yeah.
If we don't hold ourselves,
he that typo. If we don't hold ourselves accountable,
right? Who will?
Hey, OJ, you're right, man, and that's exactly what we talk about here on every day, every minute of every day. Accountability is one of the things that we are very, very much, not only in favor of, that's something that we stand by all the time.
Yep, and I'm gonna tell you now, like, what was this topic that we were talking about to the next one?
If you're not a parent, if you're not, just because you're not a parent, you're the
well, see, I'm not gonna be your accountability partner because accountability is on you. Because accountability deals with ownership.
Yep.
So what I do is just speak the truth as your brother, your friend. It's on you to take accountability for it. But I'm not gonna overextend myself and be like, you need to be accountable, and I'm gonna hold you accountable. I'm not your accountability partner. I will not lie to you and tell you that narrative, but I will tell you the truth, and I will give you the truth, the unyielding truth. Now, what you do with that truth is on you. Now, if you're gonna stay around, but you're gonna hear my mouth repeatedly.
And he didn't say your truth, his truth. He said the truth, because there is just the truth. There's no his, mine, hers, ours. There is only the truth. There's his, her, our perspective, but there's only the truth.
The truth. And that's what we're gonna stick on.
Yeah.
We're gonna stand on that word. We're gonna preach it. I'm gonna edit this one. Oh, did y'all see his dance video?
I deleted it. It's gone. It's not there no more.
I got it. Don't worry about it. If y'all haven't seen that video, be sure to see it. We gotta send it out again.
No, we don't.
In the anniversary of something. We're gonna send it out. But about the parent, like, there's some people who feel like being a parent is your top responsibility. But the truth of the matter is, it's all about relationship and balance. If you focus everything on being a parent, you not having a healthy relationship with your partner is unhealthy to you, let alone the partner, but also think about the narrative that you're also sending. Something broke my heart. It was a young lady who posted something about if you caught your dad cheating on your mom, what would you do? One man flat out said, yeah, I love my dad, but I kill him. Wow. And then the other one came up under it and said, that's right, because no one will take the place of your mama. No one, not even your daddy. And the sad part is no one realized that we have diminished the role of a father so much that we don't even look at a mother and a father as equal or balanced. So we have to change that narrative. And the way that we change that narrative is in those partnerships. Yeah. In those partnerships, you are telling a narrative, whether it's intentional or not, and people listen to that. So many times I have seen when a divorce takes place, so many people lean towards the mama side. But nobody thinks about the fact that the dad, in a lot of instances, have even neglected their own family to pour into that family. There are so many things that are coming out of that we don't pay attention to, that we need to start paying attention to. And children are not property. Children are humans that are going to grow up with a slanted narrative if we don't instill what's right in them.
Little humans. That's what children are.
And they do have a bad habit of picking up stuff you didn't teach. You're like, I didn't even teach you that. Yes, you did. Heard you when you said it. So you have to be mindful of those things. And so being a great parent and an unhealthy partner or not a great partner is damaging to you, is damaging to your partner, and is damaging to your offspring as well. Okay. And I do understand those who are parents first and they're like going out there trying it again. They already have a pre-existing child and they're thinking about partnering and all of that. I do understand that that is a tough thing. My mother had to date as a single mother as well. And one of the things that she has always instilled is like, well, I have to be a mother first. Now, does that mean that there weren't certain men like my stepdad, Fred? Now, he was one of the ones out of all the people that my mom was with, he really was invested. He took me to 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. He took me. So it were some people out there, and even up to the day that he died, I've always felt like he was a father. Mm-hmm. So there's some great people out there, and you can work on finding that balance, but don't feel like it's always win or lose. Compromising isn't about winning or losing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes your best healing comes from that, and you're not wrong for doing it again, you know?
Yeah. Compromise, as one thing I've said before that I firmly believe, is that when you come to common ground, no matter how many steps each person takes, you're not losing anything. You're not losing any ground when you come to common ground. It don't matter if you take 100 steps and the other person takes 87. You're not losing any ground. You come to a common ground, you actually are coming to a more elevated place, because there's understanding and there's comprehension and hopefully some compassion. So you're not losing anything when you come to a common ground through compromise.
Yep. Look, we done made it to that time. For those who are watching the show for the first time, man, let me see how far we got.
We got like 7.
We got 1 billion.
Yeah, that's why next week I ain't even.
We ain't putting it out there next week. We're going to get through these topics one way or another. It's like 1 trillion of them jokers. But for those who are watching for the first time, this is where we do Positive Brother Shout Out, where we shout out those brothers who normally may not get a chance, because they are working, they're grinding, they're doing different things, but also recognizing brothers who are making positive strides and positive changes in their community. What she said, say it, common ground.
For sure. Like, that's what we're talking about. Hey, sis.
She said, preach, brother.
Hey.
Kim said, that's the truth.
The truth. You said it. That's right.
Deshaun said, I think guys need to extend. I think you guys need to extend your program. You guys have great topics that you never get to discuss.
Hey, Deshaun, just like Dragon Ball Z, we need you to keep coming back next week.
Yep, we'll see you next week. Yep. Same time.
You know, we can't. We want people to get tired of us. So what I will say, Positive Brother shout out. So as always, shout out Brother Jay, because we are here every week doing this thing. Rain, which is raining today when I came here.
Yep.
Rain, cloudy, sunny, maybe a little bit of snow, whatever. We here doing it every week. And so we have had, even just this past couple of days, the brother and I have had some amazing conversations. We always have amazing conversations. And I feel like they top themselves every time we talk, which is, we talk almost every day. So you can imagine how much topping, how much plateauing that is. But I have to shout out to Brother Jay, just because, I mean, we are here, and I just feel like, I don't even feel like, I know that we are making an impact in the community, and it all happened through a chance meeting and him wanting me to be in the Love is a Parable premiere video. And we're here almost 4 years later.
And an embarrassment. Chance meeting and an embarrassment.
Chance meeting and an embarrassment. And we're here almost 4 years later. So I got to shout my brother out, just because, man, we have come a long way, and we have such a long way to go.
Yep.
And but also I want to shout out all the brothers in the live: Deshaun, Sean, Tadal, Josh, Kerwin, all you brothers that are watching, all the brothers that are going to watch later. I mean, we appreciate y'all's support, and not only supporting Love is a Parable and Brother Empower, but also the support of when you guys let us know, when we talk and you guys tell us that, hey man, I really like talking to y'all, I really like what y'all doing. That support too, that acknowledgement that, you know, what we're doing is resonating with you all and making a difference. Like, that is, we appreciate that. So, and we appreciate y'all. And that's one of the reasons that the same kind of support that you give us, we give to y'all. We believe in reciprocity. So we are paying it forward. Not only giving it back to you, but also paying it forward to the next brother. Because the support that you give us, it travels. So,
yeah. And speaking of that, what we just did, guys, is shared a link to a survey, because we do need to get our viewer surveys, only because it gives us an opportunity to improve our program, so we can take in suggestions like that. Even like one time we did change the time, it didn't work.
Nope.
We moved it right on back.
Yep.
People was mad and confused. We had people calling us from the UK, everywhere. But so we need to hear from you guys, and we need that input. The other thing is that we are prepared to take Love is a Parable to another platform. So we are going to encourage those who want to donate. And I'm putting that link in there as well. But definitely take the survey, write a review. Those things are definitely helpful and will help us continue to grow and do different things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, as far as my positive brother shout out, I definitely want to shout out my brother. Thank you for everything. Thank you for taking over, because we're doing some things from the leadership perspective, and Cordell has really been taking charge. My wife has really been taking charge, and I appreciate it. And Kirsten has really been taking charge, because we have to start moving in a different direction. We have to get things in place, because here's the thing, though, because a lot of people really are damaged by a lot of different things, and if we don't grab them, something else will. So we're dependent on you guys to help. Kim, Nichelle, thank you for being, our social media influences, helping push this, and so many other guys. Thank you. Tara, thank you for being the chair of our advisory committee, helping us corral those things together. Our collaborators like Ian and Kerwin. Yes. Thank you guys for helping this move forward, because we are serious about this. And one thing that everybody has said when they have taken our workshop, course, or whatever, they have never experienced anything like that. Yep. And we want to continue to keep that purity about what we do, but we're going to need your help to do that. So donate, give your reviews, give your comments, share our message. And if you know a brother or sister that is hurting, tell them to reach out to us.
Yep. We're very accessible people.
Our emails, our contact information, all of that is on the website, so you can reach out to us. Yep. We're here for you, and we do want to make a positive change and also be that change. So like we tell people every night, if you feel that nobody in this world loves you, you just met 2 people that actually do, and we appreciate everything that you guys are doing, and just know that you are loved and have a wonderful night.
See y'all next week.
We out.
On the next episode of Brother Empowerment.